What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. You know, one of my favorite things about video games is learning about their history and development process. There are so many interesting stories about all the different games out there, and Pokémon is no exception. Originally, there were several things planned for Pokémon that would have made the franchise completely different than what we know it as today, and that is exactly what this video is all about. Here are 5 things that would have made Pokémon completely different. The first thing we're going to be talking about today is really interesting. If you take a look at some of the trainer class sprites from the original Pokémon games, you'll notice that there are a few that are carrying whips, most notably the gym leader Sabrina. Well, this isn't just a coincidence or an insignificant detail. According to Ken Sugimori, it's actually a remnant of Pokémon Red and Green's beta, where trainers were originally going to fight Pokémon themselves. Needless to say, this would have completely changed everything we know about Pokémon as a franchise. The way it operates and its entire approach would be completely different, and I don't think it would have been nearly as popular, so it was a change that allowed the franchise to be as popular as it is today. Next up is something that probably would have been the biggest change to competitive play that we have ever seen. Junichi Masuda has stated on his blog that while developing Ruby and Sapphire, Game Freak explored the possibility of increasing the number of Pokemon a player can have at one time, and the number of moves a Pokemon can learn. The changes this would have caused for Pokemon moving forward are obvious, since it would have completely changed the way we play Pokemon, both casually and especially competitively. Having, say, 7 Pokemon at your disposal with 5 moves each would have added a whole different element to Pokemon battles that really can't be measured just by thinking about it. It's definitely one of those things that leaves you thinking, what if? Sitting in the middle of this list is something that would have had implications for both the games and the anime. Amongst the beta documents for Pokémon Red and Green, a numbered list of all the gym leaders can be seen, except Brock is not in his normal place at number 1, replaced instead by an unknown male character who moves him and all of the other gym leaders back 1 spot in the order. Now, while this is a significant change, you might be thinking, how would this have made Pokémon completely different? Well, for this one, the devil is in the details. In the anime, we have the iconic trio of Ash, Misty, and Brock, and if this original first gym leader had happened, it's likely that he would have replaced either Misty or Brock as Ash's companion, since one of the reasons that Ash traveled with them in the first place was because they were the 2 earliest gym leaders. Now, this would have been a devastating change because the trio of Ash, Misty, and Brock are absolutely beloved by the entire fanbase, and not having them together for the first 270 plus episodes wouldn't have been the same at all. Sure, we'll never know how good this other guy could have been, but the thought of breaking these 3 up is a bit unsettling to say the least. This next one is one that personally could have made my relationship with Pokemon very different than what it is today. It seems to be the case that Pokémon Gold and Silver, and by extension their remakes, are thought to be the best Pokémon games ever by a majority of the fans. A huge reason for this is the fact that you can travel to Kanto after beating the main story, and so far these are the only games where you can travel to multiple regions. Well, if it weren't for the dedication of one man, this amazing feature might not have been a reality in the first place. The entire Kanto portion of Gold and Silver was originally going to be cut from the game because they couldn't fit all of that information onto the game cartridge. However, former Nintendo president Satoru Iwata stepped in to save the day. He developed a compression tool that was able to compress the data of the games well enough so that the Kanto post-game could be included. Now, Gold, Silver, Crystal, and their remakes are my favorite Pokemon games ever because they have the Kanto postgame, and the fact that it could have not happened at all could have changed things a lot for Pokemon moving forward, and likely could have changed my relationship with the franchise forever. Without Gold and Silver setting the incredible benchmark that it did, myself and many others might not have been as interested in Pokemon afterwards, and the quality of the games might have been affected since they wouldn't have had such an amazing game to live up to. I'm so glad that this one turned out the way it did because it helped to provide me with a huge love for Pokemon. Finally, I've saved the best for last because this one is literally the definition of how Pokemon would be completely different if this had actually happened. So, we all love Pikachu. He's cute, he's cool, and he's the mascot of the franchise, but he was originally never intended to be that at all. Originally, it was Clefairy, believe it or not, that was planned to be the mascot of the franchise, and the leftover signs of this decision can be seen in the Pokemon Pocket Monsters manga, where Red is teamed up with an eccentric Clefairy as his signature Pokemon. Needless to say, Pokemon would have been astronomically different with Clefairy as the mascot, and frankly, it wouldn't have been as popular. Pikachu has way more universal appeal than Clefairy, and without that appeal, Pokemon might have struggled to even get off of the ground. You might think that Pikachu gets too much love or is talked about too much, but the fact of the matter is Pikachu was instrumental in Pokemon's success, and with Clefairy as its replacement, it just wouldn't have been the same. So there we have it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video because I personally love learning about this stuff, and I really had a lot of fun putting it together for you guys. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and if you would have liked to have seen any of these changes actually happen. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I upload great Pokemon content every Tuesday and Saturday, and also be sure to check out my Patreon for some exclusive perks and benefits. Anyways, with all of that being said, I will be back with another video soon, and until then, as always, I'll smell you guys later.